All right, so we are looking at slope y-intercept of a line again, and we are doing some graphing. So if you came through the grade 9 applied pathway, the way you focused in grade 9 on the equation of a line was c equals something. You had to replace that with the rate of change multiplied by n, however number of things there were, and then you can have a constant at the end. That was your, whether it was your initial cost or things like that, how much you had to pay, and then you had how much you have paid per minute on top of that, or how much you had to pay for the vehicle, and then the other one was how much it's going to cost you gas per kilometers. So that was our focus in the 9 applied. Now, in the 9 academic, we went straight into the algebraic form, which was y equals mx plus b. So we actually looked at that in the last, like in our last unit in spiral 2. So we looked at y equals mx plus b. And here we wanted to replace two of these letters with numbers. We wanted to replace the m with slope, and we wanted to replace the b with whatever the y-intercept is. So where m is slope and b is the y-intercept. Ooh, that was an ugly y. Okay, so remember, from graphing, slope is the same as rise over run. And if you have a whole number, remember, you can always put it over 1. So example, um, y equals 3x plus 1. And you're like, oh, there's no fraction here. And you can say, oh, wait, I could make that a fraction. That is a rise and a run. Okay, so that's what our slope is. And it's also known as a rate of change. The applied students, we focus more on a rate of change because you applied it to actual world problems. Okay, whereas B is always just your y-intercept on a graph. I always just write it as y-intercept, like y-int, instead of the whole word because I'm lazy. And when we were doing our real world application problems in the 9 applied, we talked about initial value. So I've got some students that are coming to us from academic. I've got some students that have gone like all the way through with the applied. So this is where our differences are. We're kind of blending all that learning together now as the two groups. So we want to, oh, what did I just do? Let me grab there it is. Okay. We want to write the equation in slope intercept, which is the y-intercept, form, where we're going to have an equation that says y equals, well, I'm going to write it over here. We want to use this equation here, y equals mx plus b, and we want to replace the m with the slope and the b with the y-intercept. So our equation is going to be y equals, replace the m with the slope, 4x, replace the b with the y-intercept, negative 3. Okay, this one, y equals, I'm going to leave that there, black and green, I can see that. Replace the m with slope, negative 3. Then we have to put the letter x. And then replace the b with 7. And that's a positive 7. Good. And then the last one, replace the m with slope, so 0x, and replace the y-intercept, the b with the y-intercept, which is a positive 5. Now, 0 times anything gives you 0. So this would end up just giving us y equals a positive 5 or 5. Are there more? Doo-doo-doo.